How lawmakers' decisions could continue to impact contraceptive products. A new change giving sports journalists a chance to grow.
And why this week is important to celebrate everything that dispatchers do for the public.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining ntTV News at Noon. I'm Soren Dorado.
And I'm Isabella Quintanilla.
Monday night, a mass shooting at a bank in Louisville, Kentucky left 5 dead and many others injured. Of the victims, Officer Nicholas Wilt was shot in the head while attempting to disarm the shooter. He remains in critical condition. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez has more on this story.
Louisville investigators are piecing together what led up to a mass shooting at the Old National Bank that left 5 people dead. Law enforcement says the shooter was an employee who opened fire inside of a conference room during a morning staff meeting. A community in mourning.
We pray God just will spark us.
Following another mass shooting in America. According to officials, 25-year-old Connor Sturgeon was live streaming on Instagram when he opened fire on his colleagues during a staff meeting at Old National Bank Monday morning, killing at least 5 and injuring several others. Police arrived on the scene while he was still firing.
At 8:38, there's a report of shots fired at Old National Bank. Officers were on scene within 3 minutes. The suspect shot at officers. We then returned fire and stopped that threat. The suspect is deceased.
A source close to the investigation says Sturgeon recently learned he was being fired after working at the bank full-time for more than a year. One of the victims, 63-year-old Tommy Elliott, remembered by Kentucky lawmakers who knew him.
Tommy touched a lot of lives.
Tommy Elliott helped me build my law career, helped me become governor, gave me advice on being a good dad.
Members of the community are calling for action.
Somebody's family doesn't have a loved one tonight.
After yet another shock of gun violence.
And my worry is that everybody will raise their fist in anger and mourn, and then in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, we go back to doing the same nothing.
The mayor of Louisville also says we must work together to end this plague of gun violence on our country. Enough. We're also hearing from the interim chief of the police department saying that a search warrant took place at the suspect's home yesterday. Items were taken from the home, and she's hoping that that reveals a little bit more about what led up to this shooting. In Louisville, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
A new survey reports that a shocking 54% of all U.S. adults say that they themselves or a family member have been affected by gun violence. According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, 20% of adults have lost a family member to gun violence, and almost just as many have had their life threatened with a firearm. They also found that 17% of adults have witnessed an injury from a shooting. This is a record number of people who are dying from firearms in the U.S. The CDC reports nearly 49,000 gun-related deaths in 2021, a 23% surge since 2019.
The awaited ruling from a Texas judge on a pill that for some is vital. Plaintiffs in a medical abortion case have until tonight to respond and request a hold on an order that would remove FDA approval of an abortion drug. If no action is taken, the medication in question may become unavailable nationwide by the end of this week. CNN's John Lorick has the details.
The clock is ticking for mifepristone. That's the first pill in the 2-dose regimen that can terminate a pregnancy through 10 weeks gestation.
This is a pill that's been around for more than 20 years, I believe 22 years. It's been used in 60 countries.
However, Texas federal judge Matthew Kaczmarek ruled the FDA should suspend approval of the drug, saying the agency didn't consider the trauma and stress women can suffer from ending a pregnancy.
We are ready to fight. This is going to be a long fight. We understand this. We stand by FDA's approval.
Dozens of officials from biotech and pharmaceutical companies signed an open letter backing the FDA's right to, quote, regulate safe, effective medicines for every American. Republican Representative Nancy Mace agrees, even though she considers herself pro-life.
I think that 90% would be okay with listening to the FDA rather than a judge who used an old law that was determined unconstitutional by the Supreme Court.
As the legal matter over the judge's ruling lies in limbo, abortion access varies significantly across the U.S.
Here in Texas, we have a heartbeat bill that was passed, and I think it's important that states dictate their futures, and we have to have the courts uphold these.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
We can already see the effects spread to other states as Iowa's Attorney General is halting funding for emergency contraception and, in some cases, abortion for victims of sexual assault and rape. Attorney General Brianna Byrd is evaluating whether it's an appropriate use of public funds, and until she finishes her review, the states will be delaying any payments for the medical treatment that would assist victims. Iowa has provided emergency contraception like Plan B and abortion for sexual assault survivors since 1979. Under their program, sexual assault and rape victims were exempt from paying for the medical exams and medication they underwent as a result of the assault. In a quote from Planned Parenthood, they are calling Iowa's Attorney General's decision deplorable and reprehensible. You know, Isabella, I prefer the cold, and I'm getting a little sad that it's getting warmer and sunnier.
Well, we're going to have to agree to disagree on that one because I like the warmer weather. I was tired of the freezing temperatures. Let's head over to our weather anchor, Amanda Malini, to see what we can expect for today's weather.
Honestly, I'll split the difference with you guys. I like the warm and I like the cold, so what we've got going on is really right up my alley. Currently in Denton, we've got 71-degree temperatures. It feels like 71. Feels a little windy, not enough to make a difference, but just enough that, there's a little bit of a breeze. Going into tonight, we're going to see those temperatures drop down into the 50s. 55 is going to be the actual temperature. It'll feel like 54. 9-mile-an-hour winds. It'll pick up just a hair, but not, like I said, not enough to really make a difference. Looking at tomorrow here in Denton, it'll warm up quite a bit, almost into those 80s. 77 will be the temperature. It'll feel just about 79. Clear conditions all around, and it's a nice one. But that's all I have for your first look. Stay tuned for our full weather later in the show. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Amanda. Coming up, our live reporter, Carla Castillo, will speak with a UNT dispatcher.
And later, a look at how Taylor Swift is keeping in style across the country. Stay with us.
Can I see your voter registration, please? All right, you're good. No registration, no entry. All right. Let me see your voter registration card, please.
I'm not registered to vote.
No registration, no entry.
Dude, my friends are already in there.
No registration, no entry.
What the?
Join the club. Register to vote today.
I'm here to rescue you.
Oh, my prince.
No so fast.
This story is going to be awesome.
Has the weight of stress and anxiety ever felt too heavy to overcome? Wish there was a safe place to confide in? Wish granted. At UNT, we offer counseling and testing services to students located on the 3rd floor of Chestnut Hall. UNT, we're here for you.
week is National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, where we celebrate everything dispatchers do for our community.
Being a dispatcher is not an easy job, so let's go to our live reporter, Carla Castillo, who's at the UNT Police Department, to talk more about the importance of this week. Carla?
Thanks, guys. Every second week of April is the National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, where we celebrate everything that dispatchers do for the public. A dispatcher's job is not necessarily easy, as they help receive calls, send out vehicles, send out equipment, and deal with a lot of high-stress situations. Here in the UNT Police Department is where all the action happens. But I'm here with Deborah Olivares, who has been working at the UNT department for 30 years. Hi, Deborah. How are you doing today?
Hello. I'm great. Thank you.
So my first question is, how vital is a dispatcher's job?
It's very vital. It's very important. We are the in-between when someone needs help. They call us. We dispatch the officers, medics, fire trucks. So it's very, very important in an emergency situation.
And how different is UNT PD dispatching to Denton PD?
So our primary focus is the university campus and surrounding areas, obviously. We assist the city as they need, but our primary focus is here, and they tend to the city of Denton and its surrounding areas.
And as a community, how can we better help our dispatchers?
So probably mainly being extra eyes and ears for us, our officers. Obviously, we can't be everywhere at the same time, or, because we're limited. But help us if you see a crime, report it, call in. If it's an emergency in progress, call 911. We also have a non-emergency number, so yeah, that helps us out greatly.
Well, thank you very much, Deborah. Here in Denton, the UNT Police Department and the Denton PD are very thankful for everything that dispatchers do for our community. That's why we're celebrating them all week long. So if you see a dispatcher or know of one, tell them thanks. But this is all I have for you guys. Let's take it back to the studio.
Thanks, Carla. Last week kept lots of us cranking up the heat at night, but it looks like we're in for a warm week.
It's definitely looking like one. Now, Amanda, I hear you're going to the airport. Hopefully she has some nice weather. Amanda?
Airport. I'm not going to the airport, but looking at the temperatures around the area, really nice, 70, 71, 72. Nothing really to complain about up here. We've got 71s in Denton, McKinney, and then 70s as we move a little further north into Gainesville, Sherman, and Decatur. A nice 69 in Stephenville, and as we look around the state, we've got 72s in both Fort Worth and Dallas, 71s in Austin and Houston. And we, warmer temperatures in Amarillo, 74, and then 80 degrees in El Paso as we move out west. There's that right there in 71 in Shreveport. Really just nice temperatures as we're here in the month of April. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast. Clear skies throughout the week, partly cloudy there on Friday and Tuesday. Like I said, it'll get a little warmer, upper 70s right there, kind of flirting with 80s. Low temperature is going to be 50, 60 degrees right around there. No chance of rain really in the upcoming week, not having anything to worry about until next Tuesday when we have a mild chance of rain, but not really enough to worry about. But that's all I have for full weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
There's no bad blood between Taylor Swift and cities across the country as they welcome her with open arms.
And an exciting new degree track is coming to UNT. More on that coming up.
Has the weight of stress and anxiety ever felt too heavy to overcome? Wish there was a safe place to confide in? Wish granted. At UNT, we offer counseling and testing services to students located on the 3rd floor of Chestnut Hall. UNT, we're here for you.
Did you know you have access to video equipment like DVDs, video games, and cameras? That's right, you do. Come on down to Chilton Library and fulfill your media dream. Located on the bottom floor next to the student sculpture, Hope to see you there soon.
Hey girl, you know you look good. I like the way you move and groove. I'm not sure.
I'm here to rescue you.
Oh, my prince.
No sofás. This story's going to be awesome.
The newly released Super Mario movie is becoming a major hit in the box office, and now it's got a viral music video. CNN's David Daniel has more in today's Hollywood Minute.
You're so cool. And with my star, we're gonna rule.
Jack Black pours his heart out, or rather his Super Mario Bros. Movie character Bowser's heart out, in Peaches, a love ballad for Bowser's unrequited crush, Princess Peach. The music video has more than 5 million views on YouTube in just a few days. The movie's soundtrack is available now on digital, and a special vinyl 7-inch single is due out later this year. Flashdance is 40. Director Adrian Lyne's 1983 romantic drama dazzled audiences with its music, dance sequences, and young star Jennifer Beals, even if critics weren't as impressed.
But what was lovely was that people would ring me up and say, well, you know, they're dancing in the aisles, in the movie theaters, you know, in like Times Square or wherever.
Flashdance wound up the third highest grossing movie of the year. To mark its 40th anniversary, the film is out for the first time on 4K Ultra HD. What a feeling. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
March 17th marked the start of Taylor Swift's The Eras Tour and her nation takeover. Glendale, Arizona was renamed Swift City for the first weekend of her tour. Las Vegas welcomed her in living color at the Gateway Arches on the North Strip, and Arlington gave her a key to the city. But it doesn't and likely won't stop there. Tampa Mayor Jane Castor is making her mayor for a day, changed Hillsborough to Swiftboro, and changed their Twitter bio to City of Tampa, Taylor's version.
Thankfully, journalists have been able to keep us up to date on the tour, and if you are interested in joining the exciting field of journalism, UNT might just have what you're looking for coming next year, especially if you're into sports.
With more and more students pursuing journalism, it can be hard to cater to each specific focus. It can also mean a difficult choice between degree tracks, but a solution can be found through the Mayborn School of Journalism's new degree track. Professor Brittany McElroy describes how the new sports journalism focus combines all aspects of journalism with an emphasis on sports. She also mentions how the sports journalism degree is crafted to make each student a jack of all trades across sports medias. Journalism advisor Daniel Salinas highlights how the new degree track is perfect for students looking to focus on sports.
Okay guys, sorry about those technical difficulties on that audio there, but this was definitely such an amazing thing to cover.
It looks really cool. I mean, I know journalists who are specifically looking to go into sports must be really excited about that.
It seems like a very interesting field. I'm really excited to see what they do with it.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, especially myself, you know, being a sports journalist here, it's really exciting. I cannot wait to pick that. Now, coming up, we are going to discuss how the Mavericks season ended and how our Rangers and Stars are doing right after this.
Can I see your voter registration, please? All right, you're good. No registration, no entry. All right. Let me see your voter registration card, please.
I'm not registered to vote.
No registration, no entry.
Dude, my friends are already in there.
No registration, no entry.
What the?
Join the club. Register to vote today.
What does Talons do?
So I am the Vice President of External Relations for Talons. That means that I basically oversee all the external committees. Our external committees entail our Model A, it's a Mean Green Machine. So they bring it to football games especially, so every game it's kind of there, every home game. The Model A is like a symbol of UNT pride, and it's a big tradition that we are so lucky to uphold and maintain. When people look at it, they see it, and they're like, oh, that's the Mean Green Machine. There must be a game today or something to ramp up school spirit for basketball, softball, volleyball, any of those things. We have amazing teams, so we just want to show school spirit for them. Bonfire Committee, which is in charge of putting together the bonfire every year for homecoming. It's kind of just a whole semester-long process up until build week that we have to put together and oversee and make sure safety regulations are followed and risk management is taken care of. Cannon Crew, which oversees and takes care of the cannon. They fire it at games, they take it to special occasions.
The NBA has reached the end of the regular season, and with the Dallas Mavericks ranked 11th in the Western Conference, they were unfortunately eliminated from the playoffs. Now, they did have a chance to move to 10th if the Oklahoma City Thunder lost their game and Dallas won both of theirs, but Jason Kidd said almost every key player. His decision is sparking controversy from fans and players alike, and it's welcomed investigations from the NBA in question of if he purposefully tanked their chances for picks in the draft. Now, despite Dallas missing the playoffs, Luka Doncic claims that he is still happy and ready to move on to the next season. And speaking of Dallas, the Dallas Stars had an outstanding performance last night against the Detroit Red Wings. They started off strong in the first period with Rupe Hintz scoring a tip-in goal and Esa Lindell making a wrist shot to put the Stars up 2-0. And the second period showcased the Stars who shined the brightest, starting with Jason Robertson, who made a wrist shot, and Joe Pavelski, who reached a major milestone. He scored his 1,000th point on a redirect tip-in goal to put the Stars up 5-0 and lead them to win 6-1. And he became only the 10th American-born player to make this accomplishment. Dallas really is having an outstanding sports week with accomplishments all around, and baseball is no exception. The Rangers played the Kansas City Royals last night in Arlington for a game to remember. It started with Corey Seager hitting his first home run of the season and Adolis Garcia having a grand slam in the 6th inning. But Andrew Heaney had one of his best performances yet. His pitching last night tied 2 American League records with his amazing strikeout game. He had 9 consecutive strikeouts, which allowed the Rangers to win 11-2, and this game will forever remain in Rangers history. That's all I've got for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Gabby. UNT held one of their own annual fashion shows last week.
Our reporter Tristan Van Been was there to highlight the creativity and inspiration behind the event.
Last Saturday, I covered a fashion show hosted by Merchandising Inc. and our very own UNT students. After talking to a couple of participants, it was shocking to hear some students spent weeks preparing and designing their outfits. One model in this show expressed the meaning and significance of these shows.
I just think this is a great outlet for people to get into the industry, and honestly, this has helped so many people become confident and creative. And, you know, to me, I just want everyone to feel comfortable in their own skin and, you know, be out there, just be the best version of themselves. So that's what it means to me.
Many friends and relatives were in attendance, and the crowd roared with enthusiasm for every model that strutted down the runway with beauty and elegance. While some people believe that a picture can tell 1,000 words, others feel that clothing can tell so much more.
Just find out everything that you enjoy. Find out what you're comfortable wearing. Find out what you like to do. Your hobbies can go into it. You can literally do anything with clothes. You have complete creative freedom. And it really gives you the sense of finding yourself and finding out who you truly are. So just don't be afraid to have people's eyes on you. Don't be afraid to get out there. Just fall in love with yourself.
Wow.
That was great. I loved
really
the
good.
outfits. I could not pick a favorite. There were so many good ones.
It might be kind of cliche, but I really dig the first number. The whole pink ensemble, the little
Oh
toe.
yeah,
really
was
good.
And I also love how into it they got.
Yes,
they were all
definitely.
slayed.
Yeah, they all did so good. Shout out to my friend Kennedy. She killed it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was amazing.
Cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again tonight at 6 and tomorrow at noon here on North Texas Television.